Hey guys, Michael from Black Snow Comics here. Let's talk a little bit about Umbrella Academy. If you're not familiar, it's a Netflix show. It's based off of Dark Horse Comics, which is kind of cool because you see a lot of stuff that's all based off Marvel or DC. Personally, I like Hellboy is my favorite comic. I like Dark Horse. I have people ask, well, are you DC or are you Marvel? As if you have to be one of those things. And actually, if I had to pick one company, I'd probably say that I like Dark Horse more than DC or Marvel. So it's nice to see them getting some attention. If you are a Hellboy fan, you'll probably enjoy Umbrella Academy because it's got kind of a similar vibe to it in a few ways. Like everything feels sort of out of time and place, kind of like Hellboy does. There's an oddness to everything. It's not a straightforward superhero thing in a similar way. It's got the same kind of vibe. The comics, there's not that many of them yet. I think there are only 17 or 18 issues so far. So there's not a ton of lore for them to go off of, so I'm wondering how quickly they'll catch up to everything that's already been done in the comics and have to start coming up with more original things. I haven't read the comics yet. I've watched several videos explaining the differences and kind of going in detail about the comics and character origins, and it's pretty interesting. I do plan on reading it pretty soon. But as far as the show, I'll just start off by saying that I like it quite a bit, and I do think it's worth watching. I watched it about a week ago, so I've had a little time to think on it and kind of go over everything in my head, take it in, because there's a lot to take in. And one thing that's you either love or you won't love is there's not a lot of explaining. There's a lot of mysteries, and some of it you find out about. There's a lot of other stuff that's open-ended, and from what I've learned from the comics, it's not even explained in there yet, and it may be a situation where some of the things they just never explain. And if you're the type of person that needs to know everything, that could be bothersome, I guess. But I kind of like the mystery aspect of it. But what is Umbrella Academy? You've never heard of it, you don't know what I'm talking about. It is a superhero show, but it's very non-traditional. The premise is that there were something like, I forget the exact number, but like 43 children, all born on the same day, almost instantly, where their mothers became pregnant and gave birth all within like a matter of minutes, just a few moments. So all these mystery children were just born. And there's an eccentric, I guess, millionaire or billionaire, I don't know, rich guy that's pretty odd, and he wants to collect these children, and he ends up getting 7 of them. And the Umbrella Academy is what he calls kind of his training facility, which is where they live. So they are the Umbrella Academy, is the group. So kind of a strange, interesting premise. Of course, all these people he collects end up having powers. They're not kind of just your traditional powers either. There's different things. One of them speaks to the dead. Another one just seems to be pretty strong. Another one can control like anything he throws, and usually he throws knives. One of them can call forth like a beast from another dimension to come out of his chest. Usually it's big tentacles attacking and stuff. So one of them has kind of mind control, where they say something and then the people have to do it. So there's a bunch of different things to it. And since there's 7 of them, you get some you get a little time learning about each one, and it spreads out, so that's pretty cool. A big part of the show involves time travel, so if you're into time travel things at all, you'll enjoy that aspect and how it plays out. It's also kind of a thing of averting an apocalypse, which is kind of cool because of the time travel. You know when the apocalypse is coming, so you're trying to figure out what causes it and how to stop it, so that's pretty cool. I would probably watch the show before reading the comics, because it'll ruin some of that mystery for you, because some of it is explained in the comics and you'll know where things are going, although some of it sounds like it's different enough that it'll keep you guessing. The show has a lot of sense of humor to it, but it can go to, it could add gravity to the situation pretty quickly. So it got a lot of style to it. It has a great use of music. some of the uses of things like slow motion, which gets overdone in a lot of things now. Everyone likes to use slow-mo too much, but when it's done here, it's usually done in a meaningful way. The aesthetics of it are really nice. Stylishly, it's very good. And then just the bizarreness of it, like they have a robotic mother and a, I guess sort of a butler or housekeeper who's basically a chimpanzee that can talk and is very intelligent. There's just a bunch of weird stuff like that spread throughout. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of similar to something like Hellboy, where there's just oddness spread throughout, and they don't go out of the way to overly explain some of why the oddness is there. It's just there, which I like. So I would definitely check it out. I don't want to spoil too much of it, because again, the aspect of trying to figure out what the heck's going on is part of the fun. It seems like it's gotten a lot of attention, pretty popular, so that's good news for upcoming seasons of it. While they're canceling all the Marvel shows on Netflix for some reason. So check it out. It's got my seal of approval, so whatever that means. And I'll catch you later.